It is easy to be distracted by numbers in the Jayalalithaa judgment delivered yesterday. From 386 pairs of footwear to 65,000 invitation cards, from figuring out the precise number of Anabe Shahi plants in a grape garden to calculating the exact number of square feet of construction, that is a lot of arithmetic for most. But to get one's addition wrong, and that too on the crucial point of the loans taken, is strange. Punch in 10 loan amounts and then do the addition. The answer is 10.67 crores. What we get in the judgment is 24.17. Now, that is the difference between the golden Jayalalithaa being further refined by fire and her golden self turning to lead. The key thing to note is that Justice C.R. Kumaraswamy's judgment hinges on a re-estimation of Jayalalitha's assets and income. And the single biggest item in the recalculation of income is income from loans. The calculation is quite like a 7th standard problem. Calculate the excess of assets over income as a percentage of the income. As arithmetic teachers would say, the solution is simple. Subtract the income from the assets, which gives you disproportionate assets. Now divide this amount by the total income and multiply it by 100 to get the percentage. Now, if you do it with 24.17 crores, the answer is a piddly 8.12%. If you do it by the accurate number of 10.67 crores, however, the answer is 76.75%. And with the 10% benchmark, that is 7.6 times enough to change gold to lead. Now this 10% benchmark itself is strange. If this percentage is less than 10, so if your disproportionate assets are only 9.9% more than your income, then it is fine. At 10.1, a public servant is guilty. This 10% is actually an aside that has become the law. After all, parenthetical references are supposed to be afterthoughts or explanations, and a sentence is thought to be complete without it. And this 10% makes its appearance in one such parenthesis. In December 1976, Justice P.N. Bhagwati writes a unanimous Supreme Court opinion in Krishnanand Agnihotri versus the state of Madhya Pradesh, involving an income tax officer. In the very last paragraph of the judgment, he mentions that the excess of assets over income is comparatively small. Then he adds, parenthetically, that it is less than 10% of the total income, and goes on to set aside the lower court's judgment. And this parenthetical 10%, giving a sense for comparatively small, has since then become the gold standard for disproportionate assets. All material and circumstantial evidence be damned, and so also absolute numbers. If it is less than 10%, you've got to acquit. Imagine a wealthy minister whose income is 1,000 crores and whose disproportionate assets run into 99 crores. Well, such a worthy would be exonerated. After all, for the poor chap, 99 crores would be less than 10% of his income. And that is what Justice Kumaraswamy concluded about Jayalalithaa, though based on an error of commission. The 10 loans are enumerated in the order, but the addition is faulty, and so the subsequent calculation turns 76.75% to 8.12%. And Jayalalithaa becomes further refined by fire thanks to a calculation error. Now, there may well be some other numbers that give Jayalalithaa the safety that the judgment provides, but it is not there in the final substantive calculations that undergird Justice Kumaraswamy's order. He can well be forgiven for getting his additions wrong. Any person trying to figure out the plethora of numbers in this case can be forgiven. But in a judgment such as this one, an immediate rectification is needed. And while we are at it, it is about time that we re-examine the 10% Bhagwati Rekha, within which any disproportionate asset accumulator is safe. If not for all public servants, at least we can make it lower for elected public servants in whom the people repose their trust. Or perhaps, in these times of coupons and sales, there is no reason why public servants should not enjoy a 10% discount on their probity.